Welcome to Minnesota Soybean Processors Communications Training Fundamentals, the first in a series of training modules designed to strengthen communication across the organization and establish communication as a competitive advantage for our business. In this first module, we will explore why effective communication matters, how to identify your personal communication style, an overview of the communication tools we use. Developing strong communication skills helps improve collaboration, increase efficiency, and support our shared success as an organization. At Minnesota Soybean Processors, we believe communication is a competitive advantage. This model represents the 5 building blocks that help us communicate more effectively across the organization. At the center of the model are 3 simple principles: clear tools, clear expectations, and clear follow-through. Those principles support everything we do and are reinforced through these 5 building blocks. We begin with communication foundations. Before we talk about tools or techniques, we need to understand why communication matters. Effective communication impacts trust, safety, and performance, and many of the issues we experience as an organization can often be traced back to communication breakdowns. The second building block is know your style. People communicate differently, and understanding your own style, as well as adapting to others, helps reduce misunderstandings and improve collaboration. We'll spend time learning about different communication styles and how they affect the way we work together. Next is use the right tool. We have several communication tools available, including email, ADP, OneNote, Maintenance Connection, HSI, SOPs, and Shift meetings. Choosing the right tool helps ensure information is documented properly and reaches the right people at the right time. The fourth building block is be clear and follow the process. Communication should be complete, accurate, and documented in the proper place. Using standard processes, avoiding side conversations, and closing the loop are all essential to maintaining consistency and preventing confusion. Finally, we have confirm accountability. Communication isn't finished when the message is sent. It's finished when understanding has been confirmed and actions have been completed. Checking for understanding, verifying completion, and reinforcing ownership help ensure that communication results in execution. These 5 building blocks work together in a continuous cycle. By consistently applying them, we can strengthen collaboration, improve performance, and create a culture where communication becomes one of our greatest strengths. Most operational issues are not caused by people doing the wrong thing. They happen because information was missed, assumed, or never clearly communicated. The tools we use only work if we consistently use them the way they are intended. Before we talk about communication styles or the tools we use, it's important to understand why communication matters. Communication impacts every part of our business, from performance and safety to the experience we provide our customers. First, let's talk about communication from a performance standpoint. When communication breaks down, tasks are missed, information is incomplete, and work often has to be done more than once. Rework, delays, and confusion reduce efficiency and prevent us from operating at our best. Time spent correcting mistakes or tracking down information is time that could have been spent creating value. Clear communication helps us execute more effectively, improve productivity, and ensure everyone is working toward the same goals. Communication also has a direct impact on safety. Missed updates, inconsistent procedures, and assumptions can increase risk and create unsafe conditions. In our industry, everyone depends on accurate and timely information to perform work safely. Whether it's communicating changes to a process, documenting procedures, or ensuring a proper handoff between shifts, effective communication helps protect our people and supports a strong safety culture. Safe operations require clear expectations and consistent execution. Finally, communication affects the experience we provide to our customers. Poor communication can lead to delays, errors, and inconsistent service. Customers rely on us to deliver quality products and dependable service, and that requires coordination across departments and teams. When communication is clear and information flows effectively, we are better positioned to meet commitments, respond quickly, and build trust with our customers. At the end of the day, communication is much more than simply exchanging information. It drives performance, protects our people, and helps us deliver the level of service our customers expect. That's why communication is a critical capability and a competitive advantage for Minnesota soybean processors.
Now that we've discussed why communication matters, Let's look at some of the most common communication breakdowns we see in organizations. Most problems don't happen because people don't care. They happen because information isn't communicated clearly, consistently, or completely. One common breakdown is making assumptions instead of verifying. We assume someone already knows, assume a task has been completed, or assume information has been shared. Assumptions create gaps, and those gaps often lead to errors and missed expectations. Another area where problems occur is through incomplete or unclear shift handoffs. When key information isn't passed along between shifts or departments, important details can be lost, leading to confusion, delays, or safety concerns. Breakdowns also occur when employees fail to review OneNote or other communication tools. Information may have been communicated properly, but if people aren't checking the systems designed to share that information, updates can easily be missed. Sometimes people rely on memory instead of documented processes. While experience is valuable, memory is not always reliable. Standard processes and documentation help ensure work is performed consistently and correctly. We also see situations where verbal conversations are never documented in our systems. A conversation may happen, but if it isn't captured in the appropriate tool, others may never know about it. Information that isn't documented can quickly become information that is lost. Another challenge is delayed reporting of issues or concerns. Waiting too long to raise a problem often allows small issues to become larger issues that require more time and resources to resolve. Communication breakdowns can also occur because of a lack of follow through on assigned tasks. Communication doesn't end when the message is delivered. It ends when actions are completed and understanding has been confirmed. Inconsistent use of SOPs and work instructions creates variation in how work is performed. When everyone follows different methods, quality, efficiency, and safety can suffer. Sometimes information is shared with one person but not the entire team. Effective communication requires that everyone who needs the information receives it, not just a select few. Another common issue is when there is no clear ownership or accountability. If everyone assumes someone else is responsible, important tasks and communications can fall through the cracks. We've all experienced situations where important updates become buried or overlooked. Too much information, poor organization, or lack of prioritization can cause critical messages to be missed. Finally, employees may simply not understand which communication tool to use and when. Sending the right information through the wrong channel can be just as ineffective as not communicating at all. The good news is that these breakdowns are preventable. Throughout this training, we'll discuss how to use the right tools, follow standard processes, and confirm accountability so that communication becomes a strength and a competitive advantage for Minnesota soybean processors.
Today, we will explore 4 common communication styles: analytical, feeler, driver, and influencer. Each style has unique strengths, preferences, and challenges, and no one style is better than another. As we discuss each style, think about your own communication preferences and interactions with others. Consider how you approach decisions, solve problems, communicate with coworkers, and respond to change. I encourage everyone to try to identify which style best describes them. You may find that one style stands out, or you may recognize characteristics from multiple styles. Understanding your own communication style, as well as the styles of those around you, can help improve collaboration, reduce misunderstandings, and strengthen workplace relationships. Throughout our discussion, we will look at the characteristics of each communication style, the tools and work methods each style tends to prefer, how each style communicates most effectively, common communication challenges each style may experience, ways to adapt our communication to work more effectively with others. By gaining a better understanding of these different styles, we can build stronger teams, improve communication, and create a more productive and supportive work environment. As we review each style, ask yourself, which style sounds the most like me? Analytical communicators are logical, detail-oriented, and focused on accuracy. They prefer facts, data, and clear explanations before making decisions. Characteristics include organized and methodical values, accuracy, and quality. Prefers information and evidence. Thinks carefully before acting. Enjoys systems, processes, and data analysis tools. They often excel with ADP, payroll, HR data, reporting, and compliance functions, HSI training records, learning management, and compliance tracking spreadsheets, dashboards, and reporting tools, process documentation, and procedures. How to communicate with an analytical person. Be prepared and organized. Provide facts, data, and supporting information. Explain the why behind decisions. Allow time for questions and analysis. Follow up with written communication when possible. Communication challenges. Analytical communicators may struggle with highly emotional conversations without clear facts, fast-paced discussions that require immediate decisions, vague instructions or incomplete information, highly persuasive or overly enthusiastic communication styles that lack specifics, conflict situations where emotions outweigh logic. Feeler communicators are relationship-oriented and empathetic. They value trust, collaboration, and how decisions affect others. They are often the team members who foster connections, support others, and help create a positive work environment. Characteristics of feelers are supportive and compassionate, good listeners, focused on harmony and teamwork, sensitive to the needs of others, valuing relationships and collaboration, and seeking consensus and inclusion. The tools they often excel with are meetings by facilitating discussions, encouraging participation, and building relationships. OneNote by capturing notes, organizing ideas, and sharing information with others. Collaboration platforms and team discussions, and coaching and mentoring conversations. Best ways to communicate with a feeler are through building rapport and show genuine interest, acknowledge emotions and concerns, emphasize collaboration and teamwork, maintain a respectful and positive tone, allow time for discussion and input from others, and explaining how decisions affect people and the team. Communication challenges. Feelers may struggle with are highly direct or impersonal communication, conflict or confrontational discussions, decisions that appear to overlook the impact on people, fast-paced conversations that do not allow for collaboration, and communication styles that are overly focused on facts and data without considering relationships. Feelers often communicate best with influencers, as they both value relationships, teamwork, and positive interactions. They may experience the most difficulty with drivers, whose direct and results-oriented approach can sometimes feel too abrupt or impersonal. A feeler's key phrase: show me you care. Driver communicators are results-oriented, decisive, and focused on achieving goals. They value efficiency, action, and clear expectations. Drivers are often the individuals who keep projects moving forward and help teams maintain focus on priorities and outcomes. Key characteristics of a driver are direct and confident, goal-oriented and competitive. They make decisions quickly and prefer concise communication, often focused on results and accountability. They are comfortable taking charge and making difficult decisions. Tools drivers often excel with are ADP alerts, allowing them to stay informed and responding quickly to important notifications and actions. Quick meetings that are short, focused discussions that lead to decisions and action items, dashboards and reporting tools, action plans and project timelines. The best way to communicate with a driver is to get to the point quickly. Focus on results and solutions, be confident and prepared, present options and recommendations clearly, respect their time and avoid unnecessary details. Explain how decisions impact goals and outcomes. Driver communicators may struggle with lengthy discussions that do not lead to action, excessive details or overanalysis, indecisiveness or lack of urgency, highly emotional conversations that distract from solving the issue, communication styles that avoid conflict or difficult decisions. Drivers often communicate best with analytical communicators because both appreciate facts, accountability, and achieving results. They may experience the most difficulty with feelers, whose relationship-focused approach can sometimes be perceived as slowing down decisions or avoiding conflict. A key phrase for a driver is, show me the results. Influencer communicators are enthusiastic, outgoing, and persuasive. They enjoy interacting with others, sharing ideas, and building relationships. Influencers often bring energy to the workplace and inspire others through collaboration and creativity. Characteristics of influencers include being energetic and optimistic. They are strong relationship builders, creative and persuasive. They enjoy collaboration and recognition, comfortable sharing ideas and engaging others. They are adaptable and open to change. The tools they often excel using are meetings by participating in discussions, brainstorming ideas, and building connections with others, visual communication things like presentations, graphics, videos, and other visual tools that help convey ideas and engage audiences, team collaboration platforms, training sessions, and group activities. How to communicate with an influencer by being engaging and positive. Encourage discussion and the sharing of ideas. Focus on possibilities and opportunities. Recognize contributions and accomplishments. Allow time for collaboration and creativity. Use stories, examples, and visuals when explaining concepts. Influencer communicators may struggle with highly detailed or technical discussions, rigid processes and excessive structure, large amounts of data without context or interaction, long periods of independent work with little collaboration, communication styles that are overly reserved or impersonal. Influencers often communicate best with feelers as they both value relationships, collaboration, and positive interactions. They may experience the most difficulty with analytical communicators, whose preference for facts, details, and careful analysis can sometimes feel restrictive or overly cautious. An influencer's key phrase, "Show me the possibilities." Understanding communication styles is important because people do not all process information, make decisions, or interact with others in the same way. What works well for one person may not be as effective for someone else. Recognizing and adapting to different communication styles helps us build stronger relationships and trust, reduce misunderstandings and conflict, improve teamwork and collaboration, communicate more effectively with coworkers, leaders, and customers, increase productivity and efficiency, and create a more positive and inclusive work environment. When we understand our own communication style, we become more aware of our strengths and potential blind spots. When we understand the styles of others, we can adjust our approach to better meet their needs and communicate in a way that is more likely to be understood and appreciated. For example, an analytical communicator values facts and details. A feeler communicator values relationships and collaboration. A driver communicator values efficiency and results. An influencer communicator values interaction and possibilities. By recognizing these differences, we can avoid assuming that others think, communicate, or make decisions the same way we do. The goal is not to change who we are, but to become more flexible and intentional in how we communicate. Effective communication is not about treating everyone the same. It is about understanding what others need in order to receive and respond to information successfully. The more we understand ourselves and others, the more successful we can be in building relationships, solving problems, and working together as a team. People hear through their own communication style, not ours. The more we adapt, the more effective we become.